Armored Evolutions. Could this be the new ultra secret feature coming to Pokemon Sword and Shield this fall? Another chance for you to see some of your favorite Pokemon all done up in a brand new evolutionary style. Well, there was a rumor uncovered a few days ago, and now brand new information has us thinking that this could be real.
There has to be some extra validity given to this rumors here, Zach, because they got the names of the game correct before the direct. So with that, I am super interested in everything else they have to say. What other details are they giving us?
Let me break this all down for you. So there was a 4chan post on February 20th that not only called out Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, but also the region being based off of Great Britain. They go on to discuss Armored Evolutions, which is the meat and potatoes of this new rumor. And you could say that, hey, Sword and Shield, Great Britain, we kind of knew it was going to be UK based. King and Queen had been tossed around. Maybe that's not all that special. But we look back to another 4chan post from November of last year. They similarly called out Sword and Shield as well as a UK type region, and they're also discussing similar armored type features. In their way, it's elemental armors, but it still is along this same train of thought. And then today, Gabe, we get this image from a Japanese toy company making little keychains for the coming Pokemon the Movie Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, and they have 2 hidden keychains that are labeled Armored Mewtwo.
Yeah, Zach, this is all super coincidental, right? It has to be tied in, at least a little bit. The 2 4chan posts that you made reference to, they even kind of guessed what the legendary Pokemon are going to be, and we don't know what they are quite yet, but the ones that they mentioned are super similar. They said that one was like a Pegasus, and the other post said it was a wooden horse. They said a dragon and a metal snake, so it kind of just all is super similar, right?
Yeah, it would be very odd that all of this amounts to nothing in my head at this point. And what made us feel comfortable sharing and discussing this with you was this actual piece of art from this Japanese toy company that is directly referencing an Armored Mewtwo. And it would seem that it's because it's coming to the games, and that's why it's yet to be revealed. Or perhaps it's in the movie and it's just not going to be in the games, but something armored is definitely happening here.
Are you wearing armor right now for this?
It makes me just think of armored Digivolves, which is
those
incredibly...
Those were the best.
Incredibly cool. I know that your secret hope was that this game would somehow be like Digimon, and maybe you're going to get it. So, okay. If this is to be real, Armored Evolutions, the 4chan post calls out Charizard, Mewtwo, Flygon, Zeraora, and also states that Meltan somehow ties into this. Is that cool to you?
I knew that little Meltan was up to no good, or maybe it is good. Yeah, a new evolution type would be cool. We've had Mega Evolutions, we had Alolan versions, like we have other stuff, but an Armor Evolution, that just sounds like pretty epic. It sounds like super like 2000s, like it sounds like an idea from like a decade ago, because like Armor was
from Digimon.
Yeah, no, but I think if it's done well, I think it could be a good mix-up to gameplay, because I'm sure they're not going to just like look armory. It'll have some like different gameplay elements, I would assume.
Yeah, the post from November describes it more as like an equipment, whereas the post from February, it's more of an evolution. So how that actually plays out, I think, would be important. I always like getting new forms of old guys. I like seeing old favorites be bedazzled, basically, in new cool ways. I think that's a whole lot of fun. I hope, though, that this is not the main gameplay conceit for Sword and Shield. Mega Evolutions were cool, you're right. Alolan forms did add some fun, but I hope that there's more mechanically different than just a new tier of Charizard, a new tier of Mewtwo.
I really hope there are too, and if there are just like new tiers of them, I hope they're like strikingly different just visually, right? Because the Mega version of Charizard, they look kind of similar. Yeah, I mean, there's like an entirely different color, right? Seeing a blue Charizard is like weird, but there isn't a lot of change there, especially with some of the other ones. Like Venusaur, I can like barely tell the difference.
Blastoise, yeah.
Yeah, like, so whatever they do with these evolutions, if they do happen to be true, again, take it with a grain of salt. It's 4chan, it's a rumor. It's a thing that's going to be happening with Pokemon as we go through the year, unfortunately. There's going to be a lot of speculation and rumor about these games just because people are so excited. I hope that they do it well.
Yeah, me too. And I think that, I don't know, if it was just 4chan, I'd be like, maybe they were just piggybacking off of each other, but the fact that they both got Sword and Shield right, the fact that they both are referencing this armor, and now we have a third reference of armor and Armor Mewtwo, which is one of the Pokemon called out by the February post, it seems like something is brewing over there. Also, you have to think that UK and Sword and Shield, Knights, armor, it does kind of all add up, right? Like, it fits very, very well with what this game is putting together.
It fits extraordinarily well. Sorry, I can't even speak sometimes because I'm so excited about Pokemon. All right, what do you think?
No, it's because your mouth is covered in armor.
You sure? What do you think of the legendaries, right? The Pegasus / like horse or the snake and dragon thing. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think like a cool looking horse could be a cool legendary?
To me, it's very interesting that they, again, have slight differences in these posts, but are arriving at sort of the same end point. And we've seen the two wolves as part of the Sword and Shield logo, and so some people have speculated, oh, maybe that is the legendary. But I wonder if that is just some sort of crest or iconography that exists in the game or the lore or whatever, team you come up against. A horse and a snake sounds pretty fun. Now, that doesn't deviate too crazily from what we've had before, especially if it ends up being a dragon and not a snake. But I do think like a Pegasus and a snake, if I can pull one from February and one from November, that would be pretty epic.
Yeah, it absolutely would be. I was afraid that they were going to be like too similar to each other for some reason, but no, I like what they are saying here. I hope it's true. We'll see.
I also will note that a metal snake and a wooden horse, perhaps those are armor as well. Metal armor and then wooden armor, and maybe that ties into how, the armored evolutions come about. It all kind of fits nicely. And this could be a case of someone just putting together a really nice imaginative idea. But how did they know Sword and Shield? How did they know Great Britain? How did they get that? And why are we now seeing Armored Mewtwo, and why is it being obstructed? Again, it could be just from the movie, perhaps, but I don't know. There's a lot of smoke here.
Have you seen the movie?
It's not even out yet.
No, but this is a remake of the movie that is out. Have you seen?
Yeah, I've seen the original. Yes.
Yeah, well, it's just a remake, so I mean.
Yeah, so unless there's something crazy in there, I do feel like this is part of the Sword and Shield plans, and I am not sure that we'll know soon, but I'm sure that we'll know around E3 whether this is the major conceit. I think it really is going to be important, though, if this is in there, that is not the only gameplay tweak. We've already discussed at length how we hope that there are significant changes, and while giving us new cool looks at Charizard, Mewtwo, Zeraora would be exciting, one more thing to touch on is the Meltan connection. Now, Meltan, of course, is Gen 7. He's not Gen 8, but he was the new Pokemon added for Let's Go. And if he is to have a significant role in these armored evolutions, whether in actual physicality or in just the lore construction of how these come about, I think that would be really cool to establish some sort of linkage between last year's Switch Pokemon title and this year's.
Zach, how funny would it be that if in this evolution you see little Meltan actually screwing together the pieces of armor?
he is the master worker that makes this all happen.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's like really cool to have like a through line from Let's Go to what we are doing now. And if this does end up being true, that Meltan has something to do with it just lore-wise, that would be like really, really cool, honestly. Because remember, we were kind of bummed out when we first saw him because we thought it was going to be a super cool Pokemon, right? That was going to be uncovered as a special new Pokemon in the Let's Go. If Meltan ends up being this important, this little hex nut ends up being this important, man, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah, that's a real nice bait and switch. Like, oh, he's so simple and kind of dopey, but in reality, he is the key ingredient to the next level of evolutions that expand some of the best Pokemon ever. I think that would be so fitting and so nice. And I gotta think, if it is a Snake Dragon and a Pegasus horse, you gotta think Snake Dragon. That's kind of swordish shape, and wooden horse, that's kind of shieldish. So I feel like that's how those two would separate, which means that I really want Sword, but as I've said, I feel like I gotta go Shield because that's the one that nobody's talking about.
Yeah, that's all you get to be the contrarian. Have at it.
Let us know in the comments down below how you feel about armored evolutions. Would that be a super exciting new feature to see in your 2019 Pokemon releases, or do you think this is all a bunch of crap? Do you think these 4chan posts and this keychain image have nothing to do with the new games? But if not, how did they guess Sword and Shield, and how did they guess the basis for the region? Give us your take in the comments down below, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. Fantastic day. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, for myself and Gabe, we can't wait to see what's coming next. We'll keep you posted. SwitchForce out.